But yeah, man. So what all of the fucking 303s did you see? What all fights did you catch?
Let's see. So I watched the Michelle Watterson.
Mm-hmm.
So I lost money there. um,
That's why I don't bet. Every time I bet, I fucking lose money.
yeah, it's just Prize Picks, so it's not a lot. But I didn't. I thought Michelle Watterson would do better than she did.
I
It,
think Michelle, from the way that it looked at the end of the fight with her interactions with her husband and everything, it looked like she was planning on hanging him up regardless of the
oh, totally.
win or loss. And it just kind of seemed like she was checked, not checked, but like that was just on her mind, and she just couldn't get going because of it.
I
I mean,
totally understand Julian. By the way, too, I was like, oh,
dude,
Michelle.
she looked fucking amazing.
I forgot. She's been coming up and getting better and better. I'm still used to when she got rocked a couple years back, and I was like, oh, that's how I just remember her. But yeah,
Well,
no, she was
yeah,
doing good, and I slept on it and was like, oh no, Michelle ain't gonna get taken down
yeah,
every.
every fucking time she went in for one, damn near she got her. Yeah, the retirement was rough, man, because like, dude, like I've met Michelle. We went to high school together, right? Like we're not friends or anything like that, but we knew each other in passing in school. And she was always the fucking coolest and sweetest person on the planet. Like she was just always so nice, right? So to see somebody like that I knew in passing from back in the day before she was a pro and following her career all the way through the Invicta Championship and into the UFC, it was tough, man, to watch her hang him up. But I get it, like, like she said in the post fight, it was time for her to kind of step back and be in the corner for her husband and her kid after all the years that they've been in her corner and sacrificing for her to go do it. Like, it's really commendable that she can finally take a step back from over a decade of doing it and just be like, all right, well, it's time to fucking just be there for the husband and the kid and ride off into the sunset, man. But I'm glad I got to see the last one. It sucks that it went the way that it did, and that she just seemed like she just couldn't get her offense going and just couldn't get anything working.
And she is getting older too, and it may just be time catching up with you.
Well, I mean, fuck, dude. If anybody knows anything about that, that'd be you, man. You'd be the authority on time catching up.
Nah,
Fuck.
we're not going to talk about my fight with time.
At least not yet, right?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
get a couple episodes deep before we start getting into that heavy shit.
We're we're pretending I'm not injured at all ever.
Yeah, no,
What
you get hurt.
what
Okay,
did I
Iron Man.
watch? Michelle, and then what else did I watch after that? Oh, I watched Cubby and Andre Philly, touchy
Yeah,
Philly. That
yeah,
was a good match.
dude. That was a good little back and forth, man. That was a really good fight. It was scrappy as shit. I agreed with the decision. You know what I mean? I think Feely had the better offense. Cub was pushing him back damn near the entire time. Had Feely on his bike the entire fucking fight almost. But that's the thing with Feely. He's a hell of a counter striker. So yeah, he was backpedaling 95% of that fucking fight, but he was sticking the shit out of Cub with that jab every fucking time he'd come in.
It's
Cub
like
would hit him,
Anderson.
and Feely would just answer right back.
It's what Anderson used to do. He'd step backward and let you walk into that jab, and it was very.
Just bait him in and whop. Yeah.
Let's see, what else did I see after that? After that, I think.
Did
Yeah, I
you
don't
see
think
the most boring heavyweight fight in the history of fucking heavyweight fights?
no. Thank God. Who was that?
Dude, John Anik had the best fucking joke, and he didn't even mean to. He was like, "Oh, the clinch," because that's all they did. Orlovsky held him up against the fence the entire fucking fight. That
But
was
to
it.
be fair,
Dude,
Arlovsky's like 108. He's so fucking old, and he's still he's still doing it.
I mean, dude, he was the interim champ back in the day, like in the
Did Rich,
double digit UFCs or the pay per views. Like, the guy's a goddamn dinosaur, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. It's just he's been there for fucking ever, dude. He's
40
been
years.
there, and he's fought the who's who, and he's put down some amazing opponents. But yeah, I don't know. That fight was super weird. It seemed like both of them knew exactly what was on the other end coming toward them, and they just didn't want to.
Could be
They didn't want to be a clip.
some nerves. Yeah, little nerves. Again, age, time catching up with you. Arlovsky may be starting to understand, hey, if I get hit, that could be the fucking hit that does it. I got to watch myself. So
Right.
he might be a little more tentative to pull the trigger, or play the safe game in the clinch and just fucking, wrestle fuck him the whole time.
Dude, and that's the thing is he wasn't even really trying to take him down. It didn't seem like it just seemed like he wanted to get him against the fence and hold him there
He's 108. He's
outside.
top. He got where he was winning. He was like, I'm good here.
But that's
Fuck
the
it.
thing, he didn't win. He didn't fucking win the
Oh,
fight. Every time they separated, Budai would jab him up, and
and then he
and then
sucked.
Arlovsky would get in close and clinch, and there'd be like a couple seconds of dirty boxing in the clinch, and then he would just hold him against the fence, and the ref would have to separate him.
Separated it.
And
Yeah, I
I
missed
believe it was Coleman in that fight that was reffing, and he was just like, "Come on, guys," because the crowd fucking wasn't
doing
there
it.
for it. Oh, dude, and that fight fucked up the crowd for every other fight after that. Because anytime there was even a couple of seconds of a clinch against the fence, the crowd would start booing immediately, dude. It fucked every other fight after that for that.
Which is fast forward to the next fight that I seen was in Gary and MVP, um, which I'm sure the crowd hated that because all in Gary did was just fucking wrestle him. However, I was
Gary was putting up some submissions though, and then when
I,
they were in the stand up, MVP was piecing him the fuck up. Like
he
Ian
was
Gary got a big surprise with MVP because he went the whole fucking entire fight week, probably the last couple weeks to a month, running his mouth. And again, that's the business. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Hype yourself up, get a lot of clicks and eyeballs, and stir the shit pot. But Gary was sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm faster than him. He's never been in there with anybody like me." And MVP just pieced him up everywhere on the feet. Gary couldn't touch him. Luckily,
yeah.
though, Gary's been at the gym he's been at, and he's been training with the people he's been training with, and his ground game is fucking unreal right now. Like he looked incredible.
Oh yeah,
And
that's how.
that's what won him the fight. He even said it in his little post fight, like it was boring, and he was pissed that he didn't finish him like he said he would. But at the end of the day, man, he got a dub, and he took it off of one of the scariest dudes in the division, at all. Like,
So I see a lot of hate, and I'm not a big in Gary fan, but
me neither.
hate for the style. But to be honest with you, that's how you beat MVP style. Unless you're Mike Perry, and Mike Perry did the same shit though. When they bare knuckle fought, he just stayed in his space.
Yeah,
If you give guys like MVP the room to do all that crazy spinny, he's gonna find a way to hit you with something.
right.
And he and I noticed, and I don't know why I never picked this up. He loves that jab from his hip, and then he
That
comes over the top with that right elbow.
that bladed karate style stance like Wonder Boy
That,
does.
that elbow is so fucking hard to see because he's
It's
so fast,
filthy,
and he
dude.
stands at his waist. And again, it's that Bobby Green shit where it's like everyone's like, "Oh, you're not supposed to do that," but it kind of makes it hard to see where the punch is coming from in the MMA aspect because you have to
Right.
worry about else. MVP is so good at switching shit up that he can throw the jab from the hip, but then the next time it's going to be an elbow or some shit. So, in Gary did what he should have done and took him to the ground and just wrestled him. He may not have been able to submit him because, I mean, obviously MVP is going to have some ground game behind him.
Well, and that's
But
just the experience too, the length of career between the two. Like MVP's been around a far bit longer than Ian Gary's been in the scene, and he's been there. He's had those tough guys on his back. He's had those tough guys shooting at his hips and taking him down, and he's been getting up and then maintaining that distance for a long time. The other thing with MVP too is his reach. Like the dude's got incredible reach, and he knows how to use it so well that it's hard for guys to get in that close on him because most guys are scared to get hit because he fucking cracks. They're scared to get that close because he cracks. And Mike Perry was just, fuck it, hit me. I'm just gonna get to you regardless, dude.
Mike Perry took away his springboard. So the thing that MVP is really good at that a lot of people aren't is he can do what Anderson Silva was good at it too. He can go backwards and still fight. But what MVP does is he uses that space behind him to springboard right back into the fight. So when you think, oh, okay, I got him going, you're like, oh, he's leaving to get some distance. Boom, he's right back on you.
Yeah, and he just comes in with that clean, quick counter, and
He's a
more often than not, you're fucked.
and I struggle fucking fighting backwards. I mean, I tell you 1,000 guys I've trained with, fighting backwards is hard as fuck. But when you're guys like MVP, that's what you do. And then again, to speak on in Gary's, uh, you had mentioned that uh, MVP had been around a lot longer, and I was thinking that, and Gary sure did, you know, doesn't have the fuck is the word I'm looking for, uh, the tenure.
Yeah,
Like he hasn't been long. However, once he realized what he had to do to win the fight, he was very calm, composed. Was like, "Hey, I may not be able to submit you,
and he
but I'm still."
adjusted.
And he's like, "And once I get to the ground, I know you ain't got shit to do, so I'm just gonna stay here. I'm gonna keep
Right.
going back here.
Yep.
You know, and everyone's gonna hate it, but I mean, if that's what's winning the fight, that's what's winning the fight. I'm gonna do it every time if it's me."
A dub is a dub, dude. You don't get paid out for that win bonus unless you win. So make your
Especially
money,
with
man.
versus MVP, and then Ian Gary's got to look out for that undefeated title he still has.
Right.
So not gonna go out there and play games with a striking phenomenon. Fuck, I'm gonna wrestle you too.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna just get you down and smother you.
You know, it's gonna be a boring fight, but you know, I'm gonna get my W, secure my legacy, and keep my undefeated title. Go on to the next one.
Right. Speaking of
Now,
not boring fights though, fucking Peyton Talbot, dude. You didn't see that one, did you?
was that the French dude?
No, Peyton Talbot is that young kid. He just came into the UFC. I think he's got maybe 3 or 4 in the organization, but he's been smoking everybody. He's a bantamweight. Tall kid, looks like a Sean O'Malley, man. Like, the kid is a phenom, dude. He knocked out this dude, Giannis Gamori, in 19 seconds.
Okay, I saw
Th-
that headlight.
Threw a right, came
Right
straight
down
down
the
the
pipe.
pipe with a left, right on the button, put him down.
Dog
Damn near
skinny
had
ass.
a walk off, but it was Herb, and you know Herb, he likes to let shit go for a second. He likes to give the fighters the benefit of the doubt and the chance to go out on their shield. And the dude turtled up, and he was like, okay, like kind of scooting back a little bit on his back, and Talbot just fucking met him down there and put him out like 5 or 6 more strikes, and then that was it, dude. It was, but if he would have had the walk off, man, it would have been the fastest KO in bantamweight history. And the kid is
Fuck it.
brand new to the organization. Like, I'm so stoked on this kid, and if he can learn to get a little bit chippy on the mic and like get a little bit of that Conor McGregor, fucking Ian Gary, Colby Covington, even, but hopefully not that direction because that's cringy shit. But if he can learn to talk a little bit more shit on the mic, he's gonna be huge. Like, he's gonna be fucking massive. Like, his skills, dude. Like, I couldn't believe how easily he put this dude down, and how composed the kid is. Like, his ring walk to the starting bell is just dialed in, zero motion, stone cold fucking killer.
I have
Like,
to look him up. I haven't
he's
heard or seen.
dude, he's incredible. Like, he's gonna be huge. He's gonna be fucking massive. Like,
How,
even DC was saying, like, I got to get with this kid and get him on them promo skills, man, because if he can learn to talk a little bit more shit, and to be fair to the kid, it doesn't seem like that's like he really gives a shit about any of that. But at the end of the day, if you're fighting in an
yeah,
organization like the UFC, there's a big driving factor of money behind it. And if that's one of your goals, like, you got to learn to bump them gums a little bit.
sure you don't have to be an asshole. You know, you just got to be
No,
able. You can go the Wonder Boy route and be a nice guy and not
right.
not talk. But you do have to make yourself visible. You can't be the guy who's like, oh yeah, I'll fight whoever. Who
I
just
mean,
give
he
me.
he called out Yanez, um,
Good, good. Yeah, that's
which would be a fantastic fight. I would love to see that fight because
for those
Yanez is A
those
killer.
younger, the best thing is when they win is the, and I hate hearing it when they're like, "Oh, I'll fight whoever, just whoever you want me to do it." And I've done that 1,000 times too. It's like, "Oh, whoever you put in front of me, I'll fucking fight him." You gotta fucking call your shot, especially with the UFC and
Right.
those. He's young and he's got a future behind him. So start calling your shots. Tell him who you want. Fucking because Dana obviously listens. How many times does
I
people be like,
mean,
"Yo, I'll fight so and so," and Dana's like, "Well, fuck it, fight so and so,
well,
go."
especially if you can get the fans to put pressure on Dana, he'll cave. And it's not even Dana caving, it's Dana recognizing, okay, the fans are what drive the business. Let me give them what they want so they keep coming back and spending their money on the product, right? Like you have an organization worth billions and it's as big it's the biggest fight promotion on the planet. You're gonna learn to take cues from your audience, man. I mean, that's why we've seen so many weird title fights out of order from what the rankings would dictate should happen, and people always tune in because it's what they've asked for, it's what they want to see, and Dana's smart in that respect. He gives the people what they want.
Unless your division is fucking caked full of boredom, then the
Right.
ranking play a factor. But
But if your division's caked full of boredom, the fucking fans aren't clamoring for anything out of those divisions anyway. So
if rankings gave a shit, then Connor wouldn't be able to disappear for 6 years and come back and be like, "Hey, I got a title shot," and
yeah,
they're like,
no,
"All right,
yeah,
cool, you get
right,
a title shot."
exactly. But like that's the thing with McGregor is he's one of those one in a million fucking stars that
But
just
that's
lightning in a
everyone.
bottle with that dude.
Everyone in the company knows that too, though, so they understand. It was like, I could be ranked number one, and if dude comes back, fuck, he's getting my shot, like
Right.
whatever.
You're
You know,
getting line jumped, and that just is what it is.
but again, it's because he opened his mouth and made a name for himself,
Right.
and
From the jump, he did that shit. From
his
the
biggest
Mystic Mac shit to the who the fuck is that guy to the champ
that
doesn't apologize to anybody. Like,
was he called his shot fucking 4 or 5 times in a row. Was like, I'm taking him out second round, I'm taking him out third round, first round, boom boom, and he did it every time.
he did it
And it was
with fucking Alvarez, Aldo, Holloway, like Poirier the first time. Like, yeah, the guy fucking
like,
delivers.
Poirier's got his number now.
But yeah, I don't think he wants to see that fight again. Even as much as he says he'd get back in there with him, I don't think he wants that smoke.
Keep it on
So,
the internet.
nah, no, yeah, he's chilled out with that shit.
God,
Um,
bullshit. So he just got done talking shit to Dustin
right.
over. I was talking mad shit about his wife again.
I mean, sometimes you just got to find out a few times, I guess.
Connor's just, he's never gonna. It's how he stays relevant. He's so fucking petty that when someone else gets a glimmer of hope to get more popular than him, he's gonna chime in and be like, "Nope, I'm still here. Fuck you."
Well, I mean, I think that's why you've seen him pull up shit like Garcia and O'Malley with like the steroid shit. Like the guy's
Stays
he's smart enough to stay in the zeitgeist, right? Like he's smart enough to stay in everybody's mouths. Like, oh, did you see what Connor tweeted? Like, it keeps him relevant.
I mean, just like you said, he stays relevant.
Um, so man, this card, I'm honestly surprised that the whole card turned out as good as it actually was, given all of the fucking cancellations that this card was plagued with. Like, I'm looking at a list right here. You got Jamal and Khalil out, obviously Connor and Chandler out, and then you got Jamal and Olberg out, and then Anthony Smith and Olberg,
And
and
then it went
then
to
you got Diego
Roman.
Lopez getting losing Brian Ortega, and in comes Dan Ige, right?
Oh, that happened like
Four
so.
hours, 4 hours before the fight.
I didn't know that fucking happened. So I'm driving to work last night, thinking, okay, I'm gonna miss the T City fight. No big deal. That's why I messaged you. I was like, what? T City's next. And then I got to work and looked at the screen, and the fight was ending, and I think the third round was about to end, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? I
Yeah,
was like, why is he
that's old
in
50K baby coming to save the fucking show.
there? I was like, what did I fucking miss? And like, I've been off social media for a minute, so I don't have a Facebook or an Instagram. So I have no idea about the changes when they happen. So yeah, I got to work thinking T City was up there, and I'm like, well, like I'm not gonna lie, a little high when I got to work. So I thought T City cut his hair. I was like, did Brian shave his head?
No,
I was
man.
like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, he shaved his head and lost a lot of weight.
Bro, that fight though, for so to be fair to Ige, he was already in camp, right?
Yeah, yeah, but for
And
somebody else,
for
but
somebody
that's
else, he hadn't cut the weight yet. He was like 164 pounds, so they did it at a 160 catch weight.
but it's props to both of them because Diego wasn't gonna fight. He wasn't gearing up to fight him. He was gearing up to fight Ortega.
Right. Well,
And,
that and Ortega missed weight. So they changed it from 145 to 155 because Ortega missed.
oh, he pulled a gas on
Yep. So Ortega missed. They redid it to a lightweight from a featherweight. Then reports
dude.
started coming in the night before the fight that Ortega was a little under the weather. And then by the time he was supposed to leave to get to the arena, he had a fucking 103-degree temp. And was like, I can't. So they called Ige because he was in the division. He was local. They knew he was in a camp and said, hey, like, what do you think? And he was like, I'm on my way.
Fuck it, let's go.
And Nixick was already there because, oh God, who was his fighter that was in?
He already had a guy there. So,
Yeah, he had Anthony. No, wasn't Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith's out of Factory X.
yeah, he had a boy in the corner.
It was Gene Silva. No, it wasn't. So anyway, it was another guy that Nixick was already in his corner. So this dude walks out with Nixick's right hand, and fucking Sean. God damn it, middleweight. Why the fuck am I forgetting his last name?
There's so many Sean's.
No, Sean, dude, like your favorite fucking guy, dude. It fuck fights anybody anywhere. Just took the title. Yeah, Strickland took the title off of Izzy.
How do you forget Strickland?
Dude, it's been a long day. But yeah, so he had Strickland in his corner, and Strickland was just there to like just put the stool over the fence and hand the guys in the ring the bags of ice and water and shit. But you could hear him chirping behind him a little bit, dude. But I mean, Ige fucking put it on Lopez. Like he was coming after his fucking ass, and Lopez was chucking up submissions left and fucking right. Like he had him locked up in a darce at one point that was real tight. He had him damn near in a few different rear nakeds, almost had him in an armbar, and Ige just kept fucking moving. Dude. Just kept scrambling, kept moving. That was a hell of a fight.
Catches him in the third round and almost fucking ends it all. Like, get the fuck out of here.
That fucking close, dude.
I give him props both. Ige for sure for stepping up. Being on the Strickland camp and out of that team, that whole gym's like a fucking. They're ready to fight. You show up.
It's a room full of killers, dude.
You show up on 4 hours notice, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll fight you. Let's do it."
Yeah, give me a catch weight, and I'm good to go. Like, and that was the thing that like they were talking about in commentary. Like Ige had going in his favor was he didn't have all of the fight week jitters going. Okay, like he got the call 4 hours and was just like, okay.
You show up and fight.
He wasn't cutting weight yet, right? They agreed to give him a catch weight bout, so he didn't have to worry about trying to sweat off like 10, 15 pounds in a few hours, like to make 155 or something stupid. So he had a massive advantages. But that's the thing about Lopez, dude, is that guy is just game. Like, he is so fucking game to go anywhere. Like, fuck it, okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. Okay, sure. Like, he's a company man, bro. Like, he's about that life, dude. He is not fucking scared to get in there, lace him up, and throw. Like,
he trains with Grass was his coach or his teammate or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's just both those dudes should get fucking all kinds of extra money for what they did last night. Just showing up, stepping up, and like, hey, fuck it, we'll fight. That reminds me of the older days when the guys like just fought to fight. Like, it's not about the money. It was just like, hey, you want to fight? Hey, let's fight. Like, fuck it, that's cool.
Like
and then they
fucking Tank Abbott type shit.
And then grab each other, grab a beer at the end, and be like, hey, remember when you punched me in the face 30 minutes ago? Yeah, that sucked.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
But yeah,
Well,
when
anyway,
you
see you down the road. You know, fuck.
when you try to uppercut my face off. Speaking of fucking uppercuts, you glossed over that one. The Jordan,
Oh, yeah, yeah. That
how,
was. Wait, say that again. You cut out.
what was his name? I said his name wrong. I'm sure Jourdain or
Oh yeah, Jourdain, dude. That was a hell of a fight too.
oh, it was a great.
To
But yeah,
be
he just
to be
uppercut City fucker.
fuck, dude. But then Gene Silva just eats it like a fucking
Yeah,
sandwich, and then just pressures him the whole rest of the fight till round two, and then scores the knockout. Scores
yeah.
pretty much a walk off, dude.
The old Hendo knockout where he punched and then punched under his arm with the uppercut to catch him.
Just
Love that fucking
whop.
hey, uppercuts are my favorite, but the way he set that up was so cool. I don't even know if he meant to do it. He probably just threw his arms and was like, an uppercut.
The way that if he set that up, then he deserves a lot more credit than he's getting. But to me, it looked like, oh shit, he's too close, pink, and just
It
landed.
worked.
Yeah,
And Jourdain on the ground was looking at him too, like, what did you just hit me with? Like,
he's like, what the
ow.
fuck? Yeah, he was like
It was like, what
confused.
was
But all right, so the championship fight, man, Pajeda and Prohaska, bro, you caught that fight, right,
the double knockout?
dude?
Jerry was out at the end of the first.
Fucking
Not let's not try to sugar.
the craziest thing about that head kick. It came out today. I was flipping through some stuff and reading some stuff like, fighter reactions, and apparently Pajeda had said in his post fight that his coach showed him footage that they were just airing like on the in betweens of the guys warming up in the back.
Yeah, from the arena.
And he was like, check this out. And he was doing something to defend the leg kicks. Like he was doing something where he was checking and he was dropping his fucking hands.
Yeah. Every time he checked the calf kick, Jerry would drop his right hand. Every time, and he wasn't. And that was the other thing too. What's the big dude that's in Alex's corner? The big heavy set guy. I can't remember his name, dude. I'm horrible with names, so you know what I'm talking about, though.
I do.
The big.
I do.
Was the one. He said, "Be careful what you post before fights." He said because we saw this 15 minutes before we were going to walk out, and I showed it to Alex, and Alex goes, "I'm gonna head kick." He drops his hand when he checks. And the other thing they pointed out too was when he checks the calf kick, he was doing it wrong because he was just lifting his leg, trying to avoid it rather than
actually
eat it.
Check it.
So there, one, he's on one foot. Two, his hands are down. Alex saw it and was like, "Oh, watch me kick his fucking head across."
And on one foot, you've got no stability. You're just gonna eat that kick full force. And Pajeda broke his fucking toe or his foot.
Yeah,
like you see him after the fight, like snapping his shit back in.
Put his toe back. Trying to put his toe back.
And the scariest thing about this dude is he does all of this shit fucking stone faced, bro.
Speaking of
no
stone
emotion.
Faced, those two before the fight, I think Joe Rogan said there was a 4-minute and 28-second stare off between them two. I don't think they blinked.
They didn't.
Into each other's soul. That whole spirituality shit that they were talking about was like shamans. Those shamans were talking in those eyeballs,
bro.
That wasn't Alex and Jerry. That was like
that was some.
And all of Alex's people,
bro. That was some old world arcane shit, is what that was.
And on a battlefield and being like, "Yo, we're about to go to war." It's like, "Yes, we are." Like,
yeah,
all right,
that
cool.
was some old fucking ancestor shit, is what that was.
Those dudes had a whole ass conversation just staring at each other.
Yeah, fucking. Both of those dudes are terrifying, but Alex is terrifying on a whole other fucking level, dude. That guy is just something fucking else. Like in all of the interviews and all of the shit that they put out and all the shit the UFC does and everything that you see him in as far as social medias and videos and shit, he very rarely shows any emotion one way or the other.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like, one of the only things I've ever seen him laugh at was that Nina chick that does a lot of shit with. She gave him a gift and he just kind of chuckled real quick and then put it down and was like.
Apparently, he's got a soft spot for Pokemon.
That's what it was.
but I think she handed him like a Pikachu and it made him smile.
Right. But
But
it's like outside of that, it's just
he's just
fucking.
Stonefish. But he's also a caring and respectful dude because he went to help Jerry up when Jerry tried to stand back up. He was like, "Oh
Well,
shit."
and that's also what you see with guys like that when the whole buildup is pretty respectful because you got a guy like Yuri. Yuri's that old school samurai mentality, like he's super respectful, super chill, like he's not gonna try and shake the boat or rattle the cage,
All on,
talking a
all
whole
on.
bunch of shit. He's just like, no, we're getting in there. I respect you. You're dangerous. I'm dangerous. We're gonna get in there, meet in the middle, and see what's up.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's what that was. You remember that old school show on Spike TV, Deadliest Warrior?
Yeah,
That was a samurai versus a Brazilian Portuguese warrior, tribesman warrior.
fucking some Aztec shit. Yeah, dude. That.
But yeah, I don't know what
But
his. I didn't want to offend.
right, fucking cancel us now before we really get going. Shit.
Oh, they'll cancel me for something. I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. But no, dude, that head kick, man, and that's the thing with Pajeda is like since the beginning of his UFC tenure, even Dana White said it in the presser last night. Like I underestimated him too. Like I didn't know how far he was gonna go or how good he was gonna be, but I was willing to take the chance
That's
because
because everyone saw him when he came over. It was like, oh, Izzy's boogeyman, Izzy's boogeyman, and everyone's like, oh, he's just chasing Izzy down. And then he did what he did to Izzy, and now, Izzy tried to do his whole like, oh, I got my comeback, and now, who's talking about Izzy? When's the last time you heard about Adesanya?
I mean when they announced the Duplessis fight in a couple months, but outside
No,
of that, no, he's been
that shit. But that's what I'm saying. He's been relatively quiet since, but then everybody is still talking about Alex. Alex this, Alex that, Alex is going this. And now the rumors about, oh, Alex just went from this division to this division. Now what? Heavyweight?
heavyweight. I'm like
Like,
that honestly, man, like I know a lot of people hate on that shit, but I'm like, dude, if there is a possibility that somebody can do something like that, for me personally, let him cook. Let him fucking do it because
go.
either it's going to turn out like is he going to light heavy with Blockowitz or he's going to get up to heavyweight and just start starching motherfuckers and then maybe in the perfect universe we see Pajeda and John Jones.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was like, that's what the world wants is Alex and
Eventually,
John. Because no matter who you are, when you get into the heavyweight bracket, who is fucking waiting for you at the end? The Elden Ring boss
John
of
Jones.
John.
It's fucking bones. Like
Exactly. I was like, and then
and
you're gonna aim out of who you want to be in heavyweight. You gotta go through
you
Bones,
have to.
and back to your rankings situation. Because if Alex does decide to go to heavyweight, I don't think they'll jump him over the Stipe fight because Jones will get to say who he wants to fight.
And Jones wants Stipe.
Yeah, just to prove because everyone thinks Stipe can beat him, and Jones is gonna prove, hey, nah, ain't no one gonna fucking touch me. And I'll stand on the John. I don't like John Jones as a person, but I'll stand behind his abilities. I'll back that son bitch
I
to
don't
the
think Stipe's got anything for
that.
Jones, dude. Especially the longer it takes for them to get in there and actually do it. I don't think.
Back to what I was saying, I do believe he won't skip the Stipe fight, but I bet they jump over the Aspinall fight.
Well,
I bet
because Aspinall's still young, right? And
they
he's
might even
still on his
they might,
upward trajectory.
they might even make Aspinall fight Alex and be like, "Yo, winner gets
That would
Jones."
be a fucking good fight, though.
That would be a
I
dope
would
fight.
like
Aspinall
if
lately looking
if
insane.
if Pajeda's got to go in and fight somebody like a Curtis Blades, right? Because Curtis has got a fight coming up. So if Curtis wins that fight, Alex does decide in the near future, like, I'd like to go up. They line him and Blades up.
I think he starts his blades.
100%. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think he starts his blades. I think Aspinall may give him some trouble, but I still think he beats Aspinall.
I think, though, that if Alex is going to step up to heavyweight, he's got to take some time to fucking. Because one thing, though, we don't know, I don't personally know what Pajeda walks around at, weight wise, out of camp. Like, he might be the type of guy that can just. He might walk around 240, right? He cuts 5 10 goes in
Here you
there at
go.
230.
I'm gonna go piss real quick.
All
You
right,
look it up real
put
quick.
it up.
215.
I'm looking right now and it says 230 pounds.
He walks at 230
Yeah,
and he cuts to 185.
yeah. Well, now
That's,
205.
that's doable. I mean, I can't.
Dude, he could walk in there with zero cut, probably come in like
Yeah,
really in shape at 220, 225, and
and
still
he's
be
probably.
competitive. I think.
I mean,
He better do
the
some work on the ground game though if he's going to get in there with somebody like Aspinall.
problem is at heavyweight though. It's what 206 to 265. It's such a big
Yep.
range. Like fucking, I could walk in there right now. I'm sure and make heavyweight.
And
And I
Aspinall
like
probably walks at 260 plus.
who?
Aspinall. He
Oh
probably
yeah,
walks around at 260. So you got to think if Alex is going to get in there at walk around weight at 230, right? So in shape end of camp, he's realistically probably 220, 225. And Aspinall, typically, I think the last fight I watched, he came in at like 240, 245. So he's coming in 20 pounds heavier, and he's a fucking mountain, dude. Like, Aspinall's a gigantic human being, and he's fucking strong.
but
So
then
to think that Aspinall isn't going to get Pajeda to the ground is just ridiculous. So
but you
they're.
also
Go
think
ahead.
too, same aspect. Fucking, what's 20 more pounds of muscle on Alex gonna do? Like, he
Right.
already like a goddamn freight train. You're gonna make this man muscle up because he ain't gonna get fat.
No.
No, but he gonna get big.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
And he seems like the type of genetic freak that could just get big quick.
oh yeah, yeah, he can. I mean, look at he fights at all kinds of weight classes. Dude drops. He knows how to manipulate his weight. He can
Right.
he can do it.
And well, and that speaks to the people he's got in his corner too, right? So the people that he's got in his corner, I'm sure if they know how to go one way, they damn sure know how to go the other direction too.
Bro, he's got Glover. He's fine. He's got one of the best ever in his corner right there. He's doing great. Um, yeah, no, I agree. He didn't say agree. We've never seen Alex on the ground. Like, he got his black belt from a striking display.
Which
Cool.
is what I was thinking the entire
And
time. Like, dude, like,
we've heard like all these rumors about, oh, he is good on the ground. And when he trains, he's good. He's a great grappler. But like, who? No one's taking him down. However, like you said, going into the heavyweight division, guys like Aspinall and Jones are gonna get him the fucking down. Like,
Jones
didn't Izzy?
especially. Izzy
Izzy
did.
got him down.
I think Izzy did take him down, if I'm not
He
mistaken.
got back up.
Yeah, but again, that's Izzy. Izzy walks in pretty light, anyways. Like he went up to fight Blockowitz at
Izzy's
like
a,
190.
if Izzy's a little dude and can take him down, a fucking 265 dude is
Is
gonna
it,
throw
it,
him.
it's gonna be like Khabib on Poirier, dude. He's gonna be smothered.
But again, we gotta remember that Alex is not gonna come up as a fat boy. He's gonna come up as a muscle of a big tank, and so
And all
he's
it
also
takes is one shot, and he's proven time and time again his ability to make reads before the fight just off the footage available.
and it honestly, it's that he's so well. His fight IQ is so good when he knows the range of that hook he needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he never throws that hook without full intention of killing you. Like, he knows where he's at all times when that hook's about to go. When it leaves his chin, he knows where it's
Oh,
going.
dude, it's a
Whether
laser. It's a
he,
fucking laser.
he's so smart to know whether it needs to go all the way out or halfway or wherever it needs to be. So his reads are just that's what I lost my train of thought, but yeah,
Well,
fuck it.
well, you were saying that he throws that hook with like everything he's got, but that's one of the scariest things about that strike with Pajeda in particular is that he throws it with everything every fucking time, but he doesn't throw it in such a way. He's so skilled that he can throw that thing full fucking tilt every time and it doesn't look like it.
He's
It
very
never puts him out of position. It never puts him in a bad spot for return fire. Like, and even if somebody is able to evade it a little bit and throw something back, he's so goddamn long in his arms he can just lean back a little bit and slip it. So it's
lean
like
back there.
he's like, okay, nice.
Yeah, I mean it's like I feel like a lot of people sleep on his fight IQ. Even when he fought Jamal, and Jamal was talking about like, oh no, he stepped in off the break
Bro,
when
you
Hurt
touched gloves and
didn't
then
see it.
squared back up before he hit you. Like I don't understand how much more time you need to get ready, dude. Did
But
like
again, that just goes to point out to you, like Alex was like, well, shit, let me take this quick second to step in on you, and he stepped in on it. Like that's your fault, Jamal. That
yeah,
you're fight.
always they tell you protect yourselves at all times for that exact reason. Like it's the ref's job to check on the low blow, which there was. It's the ref's job to intervene and check. Alex shoot him off, which was gangster as fuck, by the way. He was just like, we're good. Bah! And just, fuck, man. But that's the
Call
craziest thing about people sleeping on Pajeda so much is like, and I wasn't necessarily sleeping on the guy. Like, as soon as I heard he was coming into the UFC, I went back and dug through a bunch of old videos, as much fight tape as I could find on the guy, all of his fights with Izzy, and I was like, this dude's gonna be a fucking problem. And
oh
people
yeah,
are always
just
like, oh, well, he's got no wrestling. Fucking neither did Izzy when he came in, and look what he did to the division.
who's
Look what
taking
he
him down?
did.
Show that Gaethje doesn't have
Blockowitz.
wrestling. Right?
Blockowitz took him down and laid on him because he couldn't fucking mount any offense from the top.
Yeah.
Blockowitz laid on him to a fucking decision win. Like, so for people to underestimate Pajeda like that, it's just like, oh, okay, I
But
guess. But
that's the that people all also sleep on too. Is just like, yeah, it's like, oh, he's got no ground game. He's got no ground game. Cool, but his striking game is so fucking good that you can't take him down.
yeah, it's like good
So
luck getting to him.
yeah, just like Chuck Liddell, everyone was like, oh, if you could get Chuck down, you can beat him. It was like, yeah, can you get Chuck down?
Exactly.
Good luck. And that's the thing is like, yeah, you know, same thing with Khabib. Khabib's striking was fucking awful, horrible, but
Except for that one punch he landed on McGregor. That shit, that overhand was so pretty, dude. But I think that was just a reflex, and it just caught him lucky because
he's
McGregor
just
was out of position because he wasn't expecting Khabib to throw like that.